Alright.
So, today's episode, Parallel Universes.
Yep. It's become a common trope for a lot of media recently. Parallel universes has. I mean,
Yes.
I don't know if you've realized it or not, but
I mean, it's always kind of been big in gaming, I feel, and just storytelling in general. So, like, media, TV shows, films, stuff like that. Like, they seem to love it, but it seems to really be like a cult phenomenon recently.
yeah, honestly, I'm not honestly too exactly sure when I started to notice it. I think I started to notice it more when Endgame did it. When they mentioned Endgame and they're like, the lady pulled apart all of these like different strings of a universe or whatever. But like,
Yeah.
when it comes to stories though, no matter what story it's been, it's always like, well, what if this character didn't do that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what if the main protagonist didn't do the main thing and like the main story just diverts, you know?
What if it was a completely different person? Because, I mean, people vary in how they live their lives and choose the choices they make. So one thing might be solved one complete way, whereas it could be solved a completely different way by another. So I think one popular one that the Marvel fandom like to take on and think about is Avengers Infinity War Endgame. If you haven't seen them, sorry, spoilers, but also, what are you doing? It's been years. When the snap happens, everyone not everyone, but half of the population is wiped out, and a bunch of the Avengers and a bunch of different heroes that help them, they're all wiped out. The theory is, what if it were the other half that survived? So instead of Iron Man and, the original 6 Avengers, and then a couple little people from, not little people, but a couple characters from Guardians of the Galaxy and a couple characters from other films like Ant-Man. What if it were the other way around? What if it were Black Panther that stayed alive, and Wanda and Vision and all these characters, and Bucky and Hank Pym and all these characters that got affected by the snap? How would they have dealt with it?
Do you think it would have?
I think they would have dealt with it a completely different way. I truly do, because they didn't have the giants that could absorb the gamma radiation like Hulk.
Right.
Or that could, handle being close to the Infinity Stones like Captain Marvel and stuff like that. And I don't think they would have figured out time travel. I don't. So I think
Probably
they would have had
not.
to, have a completely different method of trying to...
Which, I mean, it
fix
was luck that my man Ant-Man just happened to pop out. You know what I mean?
That rat did
Yeah,
the
right.
most.
Oh my god.
Without that rat stomping around in that van,
Yeah.
Endgame wouldn't have happened.
I mean, that introduces so many more like sub theories or instances. Like, I don't know. It's interesting because no matter what, like I said, it's always been there. It's always going to be a thing, but you never, like, you want to see it happen, but you never really get to see it happen. I don't know of one specific scenario where like a story or a company has told multiple, like, the same story in multiple different timelines. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, sort of showing all of the endings that could have possibly happened for that one story.
That's like God, there was The Force Unleashed. I think KOTOR has a dark side ending, which is very, very bad.
I will say I do love those sort of games. Those story games are my go-tos.
Bro, with the bad ending, I love it.
I just love that every little detail with some games really matter. Can really just mess up the entire story.
Just
Skyrim,
purposely?
Fallout, all games that are known
God.
for that kind of storytelling.
I've never played Skyrim. In my life, I've never played Skyrim. I used to watch my ex-girlfriend play Skyrim all the time. I never touched it, never got a hold of it.
I need to get you on it. I need to get you on Skyrim.
It's one of those games that, like, I've heard so much about. It's just I've never oh my god. There's a hole in my wall. Nice.
Oh.
See? That is not from me punching it, I swear to God.
Mm-hmm. That's what they always say.
No. What was it? Fuck. Oh. Skyrim, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been one of those games I've heard so much about. I know people mod it like crazy, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never played it properly modded because I have it on PS4, and I mean you can mod it on PS4, but the mods aren't as good. On PC they go crazy though. Like Thomas the Tank Engine replaces all of the dragons, so all of a sudden you just hear woo woo, and this massive Thomas the Tank Engine is flying through the sky, shooting fire at you. It's
What?
Yeah, it's very funny.
What the fuck? That sounds like something you'd see on like that meme channel that gets recommended to you 3 years later. For no out. That's been a. If I pulled up my YouTube recommended right now, it would literally be memes from years ago.
Yeah, like a montage from 5 years ago, and I'm like, okay, when have I shown the algorithm that this is the kind of stuff I watch?
Yeah, when did I ask? When did I care? You know what
Exactly.
I mean? I don't know.
Check the search history; it's not in there.
No, check the watch history. It's definitely not there. Barely get to watch YouTube anymore, more or less. They say it's important to be as, like, if you're a content creator, to be a consumer just as much as you are a producer. And
It's hard to find that healthy balance, though, because
yeah,
it feels like every single waking moment you need to focus on
what you're doing, how to beat the algorithm of the day. You know what I mean? You have to. How do you manage that with your life outside of the screen if you have one? I mean, no offense, people don't. But, like, come on. Where's the balance?
Especially with your these people that are like mods for however many channels as well, or like Discord mods. I don't understand how people have the time to be Discord mods. That seems like a lot of work.
It's kind of like a day job, actually. I've looked into Discord modding. I think it's kind of like a day job. I think they get paid for it. I think. I believe.
Interesting.
Yeah, Discord, like, not only do they, like, not hire, but, like, they say in their, like, descriptive thing, it's like Discord's grown from just a few people in a garage or something to, like, hundreds of people, like, being employed through Discord, and that's through their mod and their, like, production. What is it? Oh God, it's not production. It's development team. Son of a bitch, development team. It's their development team. So, like,
right.
It's interesting because, like, you'll find servers. For example, Travis Scott put out his own Discord server, which I want to talk about here in a minute. There's been all kinds of people that have been, like, getting on this whole Discord trend, and it's interesting. I don't know what it is.
Are you in it? Are you in the server? Yes, you are.
I am. Every Friday night they do this Days Before Rodeo radio listening party, and I am there.
He's got a schedule and everything. He's dedicated.
Listen, it's odd, but no, when the server first dropped, oddly enough, like, there was Travis Scott himself, like, at the top, you know what I mean? And it was funny because you can message his account, and it just stated it was brand new. It was like you knew he wasn't the one behind the account.
Yeah.
And right below it had the mods, and I'm like, well, this isn't people Travis Scott knows. I seriously doubt people in Travis Scott's circle know how to use Discord to, like, that level, because
I can't imagine.
Even I've worked on my Discord and, like, just developing different chords over time, and it's like I don't even feel like I'm in the position where I could, like, successfully mod a Discord. So, like,
yeah, it seems like a very complex
it's
structure.
It's crazy how far it's developed too, because I remember back when Discord first started coming on, it was like the debate between Skype and Discord. I was always team Skype. I swore by Skype. But no, yeah, when I saw, like, these verified mods, I'm like, yeah, there's something going on here. So I checked out a few of the servers. There's Anime Kissa. There is some for really big streamers like Benji Fishy and all these other people.
Oh.
And yeah, Discord announced when they rebranded that they were going to branch out into like their whole lifestyle. It's like it's not directed towards gamers anymore. And that's what brings me to my other point. People are just exploring Discord now, which is I think is good for their platform. I use Discord for multiple of reasons, whether that be for anime or music or whatever it is. Just
I think it's a very good medium. I think it's very productive. It has a lot of uses. I even think that it would have made more sense for teachers and schools to just hold online Discord calls.
I think so
for
too.
Classes instead of the stupid Zoom. I mean, you had Zoom, I had Blackboard, which was our university kind of hub for everything that we needed. But yeah, Discord is just way more organized as well. It's way more user friendly. The interface is a lot easier to navigate. Go Discord. This is not promotion, but
no. I mean, I think if they did it that way, though, they could have employed a lot more people. I mean, if they did that, there was the opportunity to, like, build on security as well.
Yeah.
One thing I will say, though, there have been people... There was this one TikTok that blew up. I got, like, 2.3 million likes or whatever, and these people were, like, documenting their life in a Discord server that they only had access to. Like, they were putting all their, like, schedules. Like, it was a good way to keep organized, but there's planners for that. Like,
yeah,
Discord not only logs your information, but like you're not the only one that can see that server in the end of the day. So like,
no, especially if people join, they have access to that server. They have access to everything. It's not the safest place to keep information like that.
Right. Well, that's the idea of the server is only accessible to you, like it's locked to you or whatever. But still, it's very unsafe. Just use a calendar app. Yeah, just use a calendar
app. Everyone has calendar app on their phone. Like,
it's so unsafe.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. That's what I think. That's like the realization moment for me is like, damn, people use Discord.
Some people don't know how to use Discord.
Yeah.
Some people do know how to use Discord. Some people just use Discord in ways that I could never even fathom.
That's just crazy.
So parallel universes.
Right.
The topic of today. Are there any like universes in general or like, I don't know, parallel possibilities that really intrigue you, that you just think like, wow, that could have been the way it was, but it's not, and it's really weird to think about it like that?
I mean, maybe like, you know how like when you come to a point in your life where things like go one way or the other, like not something specifically negative. I think about points in my life where things could have dramatically changed. Like, if there's a universe where, say, my parents didn't get divorced, or, for instance, I didn't start creating content, something like that, like those pivotal moments, like the butterfly effect not taking place, you know what I mean? I'm wondering if there's, like, universes out there like that, but realistically, where would they be? How would you access them? You know what I mean? Would it be like through wormholes or like some crazy shit?
There's the theory that where am I going with this? I was going somewhere.
I hate that feeling when you like have a point you want to talk about. It's like poof.
It's right at the top. It's like the tip of my tongue. No, I've lost it. That's frustrating. Maybe I'll remember it if it's important.
Well, unfortunate. You, though, on the other hand, we were talking about intriguing points or intriguing parallel universes. Which ones that like fascinate you, or ones that you would rather like? The ones you would see first.
I often just wonder what it would be like in a universe where I'm not gay. I think
we talked about this a little bit last week, I think.
I don't want to say that like it's a personality trait, because it's not, and I try not to make it be that, but it very much is a pivotal point of who I am as a person, and how I am and the way I am and how I came to be this way. And so, you know, there were a lot of things in school that I dealt with that really shaped me to be the person I am today. And though they were horrible experiences, I'm grateful that they happened. And so I wonder how different of a person I would be without just those experiences, without that, I guess, confusion in yourself. You know, because I hate to say it, but it does stick with you. Sometimes some of the things stick with you a lot longer than you want them to.
Right.
For example, like, not to get deep or anything, but I was bullied, I was picked on, and it made me feel really, really crap about myself. And unfortunately, it's still left me with quite a lot of insecurities around it. And I wonder, where I would be at if I didn't have those insecurities, if I didn't experience the things I experienced. Because, like a catch-22, it's also made me a very, very, not defensive person, but I stick up for myself, you know? I see my worth, I don't let someone treat me like shit. And I have no problem, you know, speaking my mind if I don't feel like that. And I don't think I would be that way if I didn't experience the things that I had experienced.
No, you bring up a very good point. Moments in your life that just really don't let go of you. Not fun. That's interesting though. Yeah, we talked about it a little bit last week. I personally, I couldn't see it, but that's again because I've come to know you as you are.
I couldn't see it either.
Yeah.
But the Heather that wears dresses and skirts, I get uncomfortable just thinking about it. What about like a parallel universe where you had superpowers?
That would be fire, but what kind of powers? What would they derive from? Like, are we talking Avatar? Are we talking Marvel? Are we talking Superman?
Parallel universe is unlimited possibilities, so it could be anything and everything. So what is your minus Star Wars for you and minus Marvel for me, because that would obviously be our instinctual places of going. Like, what would be the parallel universe where you think, do you know what, yes, send me in?
Oh my god. And it's not Attack on Titan because I'm still on y'all.
Big flesh eating
I can't.
Titan, just
I can't.
crazy.
For me, oh man, I don't know, because like most of them are like death sentence type of things.
Yeah.
And if I want to think of one parallel universe, or what are places of, I think of characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard.
What's the like characters you would want to meet, and so.
Well, characters I would want to be. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So, I gotta take my mind out of that place. Let me think. Okay, so maybe not directly a Marvel specific, but Doctor Strange is one that interests me. So, like, maybe if there was, like, I don't know, this parallel universe with a bunch of freak wizards flying around doing all this crazy shit, maybe that would be the one.
Is that not just Harry Potter? I'm not a Harry Potter fan here, but
I mean, I guess.
It's literally wizards.
Yeah, you're a wizard, Harry. No, Harry Potter's interesting, I guess. I don't know. I have an odd relationship.
I'm not a fan of it personally.
I have an odd relationship when it came to the decision of reading the Harry Potter books or watching the Star Wars movies. I went to the latter.
Obvious choice.
Yeah.
Star Wars films all the way. I think mine would be Star Wars or and this is going to be this is going to be, it's really cringe, but I would want to go here just because like this is my guilty pleasure comfort film. Twilight.
Oh my god.
I wouldn't mind being a vampire, you know, like I'll just whiz around.
You're gonna suck people's blood.
No, I do what they do, eat animal blood only, you know, vegetarian option.
I've never watched them either, so
I can give you the full rundown on all 5 movies. I watch them like once a year at least.
Let's save that for another day.
I'll bring it up in the arts season. Don't worry.
I'm
I'll
going
get
to
to that.
There's gonna be a bigger hole in my wall once we're done here. Shit, yeah. It's hard to place myself in any other universe that I don't feel like security in, because I don't know, like some of these universes, these worlds, they're not really fleshed out, like I'd like to admit, because there's so much inconsistency, and that's not really the writer's fault. It's like you can't create a consistent other world like scenario without spending your life dedicated to it, if that makes sense.
It has to be an established franchise that has sort of been in existence for a significant amount of time, where stories, worlds, backgrounds are all really deeply established.
Yeah, because when it comes to like certain stories, I can think of some anime specifically, but like events will happen and it's like, well, what about the World Wars? You know what I mean? I think, oh god, this is gonna be a really shit example of this, but like maybe it wasn't Call of Duty, but there were certain games that like directly interfere with the time period of like the Second World War, and it's like, well, what? It's like, how did that take place? What, did the Second World War just never happen? That's what bugs me.
It's not in canon.
Yeah, it's not in canon. It's like, what? Like we're here at this place now for a reason. Like all the events all of our past events have shaped us into the world we are now. So it's like, how can you not,
include that?
How are you going to include...
Especially in a game that's meant to be realistic, like Call of Duty or Battlefield or things like that.
Yeah, like, how are you going to include, like, a world? How are you going to include a world that is modern and take out some of its key elements? Like, I don't know. It's like, how did we get here? No, but yeah, it's interesting. Again, like I said, it's inconsistent. Even with some of the bigger franchises like Marvel, like Star Wars, both owned by Disney now, they're inconsistent. You can find inconsistencies everywhere with stories.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there is no exception, and I mean, it's really, if you want to be that nitpicky, if you want to find a perfect story, good luck. If you feel like you have a perfect story, good for you. But, like, I've learned not to care that much. That's attachment to characters and the world building is something I've had to, like, I don't want to say dial down, but like at the same time, like I don't want to like invest myself too heavily in that story where like a simple inconsistency bugs me, I guess. You know what I mean? Because at that point, I mean,
I can understand it in a viewpoint of, you know, you're consuming a product, you're consuming an art, and you want that to be the best quality, and if there are inconsistencies, then I suppose you're not getting the top quality that you could be getting, especially when they have these ridiculous budgets. But at the same time, I don't know, like, I'm a hardcore, you know, maybe not hardcore, I guess, but I'm a very, very big Marvel nerd. Like, I am a huge Marvel nerd. If I had unlimited money, the first thing I would buy is replica props. Replica, like, I would buy a replica shield, a replica hammer. Like, I would spend so much money on that if I could. So, like, I love Marvel, but there's so many inconsistencies, but I don't really care too much. Like, for example, one plot line is like they had an entire TV series called Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and it was in canon, but it's no longer in canon, and they've just decided that because it now interferes with the possible plot line of a new series. So if you hold on to consistencies and stuff like that in the Marvel universe, you're going to get very frustrated, because 1 minute it will be in canon, the next minute it will just be like, oh, so that didn't happen. Right, got it.
That's unfortunate. I enjoyed Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Never seen it.
You haven't? Huh.
So I suppose I'm not really missing anything now, since it's no longer in canon, but...
Disney's good at that, though, just deleting canon. They're really good at that. They're good at retconning themselves as well. It's not even with the two biggest franchises they just somehow happen to have, but yeah, they just like to backtrack. I think they've really they've done it with their movies too, the live action remakes they've specifically done for money.
Don't get me started on those live action remakes.
Oh my god. I don't want to like directly say I'm at ops with Disney, but
I don't like them.
I don't like them either.
I don't like a lot of them. I don't like Lion King.
Yeah, I don't like what's that new one? The one that had damn, that new one.
I don't know, but Mulan was filming literally like right on top of Muslim camps.
Yeah,
in China, which
not to mention
allegedly,
the protagonist
apparently.
The actress they hired for the protagonist, not to mention the things they cut from the movie. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's really really shouldn't be getting mad, but again.
But like, come on, Disney.
Why retcon so much? It's been in big topic recently because they had a line of comics for a Star Wars line dating back, I think, to like the second year after they purchased Star Wars, which was in 2017 when they announced The Force Awakens. And like there is just like recently they have a new series premiering and it just retconned that half of that comic, and it's like, why? At that point, what's the purpose? It's frustrating because like it's such a minor detail they could have just kept in. Like don't get me wrong, what they're doing with these new shows, with these live actions, it's beautiful, it's amazing. They're pushing the limits of technology. But at what cost? Like I'm not saying again, we just talked about if you take the inconsistencies, whatever, it's very nitpicky, but at the same time, when you realize it, when it's a big enough retcon or a rewrite to like notice it, you have the same story group writing it, so like, why? What, like, you can't work around that? It may be uncomfortable.
You just cancelled out your own work.
Right, like, what's the purpose then? They've done it multiple times on so many different occasions. It's not frustrating, but it just makes me uncomfortable to like go into it. It's like, dear God, what am I going to experience? You know what I mean? Like, you're telling.
Is it going to matter that I watch this?
Yeah,
because is it just going to get cancelled out?
Is it even going to be canon in 4 years? Like, you know what I mean? It's an interesting route to take for what they're doing, because like Disney isn't no joke. Like, it's multi-billion-dollar company. I'd say like, actually, I'm not going to look it up.
I think it's still probably multi-billion-dollar company.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Might even be trillion, honestly.
That's what I was looking up. Is it a $1 trillion company? Is still.
I would think so with everything that they have.
Oh, 201 billion.
201 billion. Oof.
Well, regardless.
That's still a lot of money.
Yeah, that's still a lot of money. You'd think, with the best story writers, with the best production team, you could avoid one little detail that makes all the difference. Then again, they probably look at us and thinking, why do you care so much?
I'd be annoyed if I were an actor working on it, because, you know, you would put your everything into this role and whatever, and then to be told after, like, do you know what, actually, it doesn't really matter if you watch it because it's not actually going to matter. You know, like when they're trying to reintroduce a completely new audience into fandom or a culture or whatever, and they'll be like, oh yeah, watch these if you want to understand this. You know, like with WandaVision, it brought on a whole new bunch of Marvel fans that had never watched any of the films, so it was like, if you want to understand everything that's going on and understand all of the Easter eggs and the hidden jokes and everything, watch this and this. But to then, as an actor, be like, yeah, my work doesn't matter anymore, like, on something so big like that has such a pop culture around it, it would be really disheartening, I think.
Yeah, I agree. It's interesting with these types of there it goes. It's interesting.
We'll have a counter of how many times we say that at one point.
Yeah, definitely. But I think one of the most intriguing, something different, the most intriguing parts of a story is how the world reacts around it, because like obviously you have the main character, the lead, the protagonist, the antagonist, whatever.
Comic relief.
Right. It's like, how, like, all right, for example, what the hell? In WandaVision, although I haven't watched it, I know that there was a bubble. I think like the bubble or whatever she created.
The hex, yeah.
When she, like, how did the outside, like, that was my biggest question, is, like, how did the outside world react to that? Because, like, there's just no way there's going to create a mini town in another town. It's, like, nobody's going to care. Because later in the series, I realized, like, they were starting to bring the house down type thing. But, like...
You would have thought more people would have noticed.
Yeah, you thought, like...
That's all I'm thinking, like, because it was an entire town.
Yeah, if something like that happened in real life, which I know is completely, like, unfair, the entire world would be talking about it. Like...
It would be all over social media every single day. There would just be thousands of people flocking around the bubble with their phones out, like, oh my god, guys, you can't believe what I've seen. Look at the bubble, you know.
24-hour camp out at the bubble.
YouTube challenges,
God.
TikTok videos about it. Someone would do TikTok dances outside the bubble. You know.
There would be that Fortnite weirdo recreating the bubble in Fortnite.
Instead of it only being like some anomaly that a couple people and like, I guess special forces are camped out at. Yeah. I don't know. And they were just also very unresponsive. Like when she let them go, they were just like, she was kind of just like, oh.
It wasn't even phased.
Well, they were definitely phased. They looked really angry, but like that was it.
The people in the town. Oh.
Yeah, they just kind of seemed to act as if it didn't happen after a while. They were just like, yeah, okay, sure.
Right? Okay.
Life's back.
Like and like devastating.
You're telling me you wouldn't be freaking the fuck out if that happened?
Right? Like I would be fucking terrified for life.
Yeah.
There's instances in every like story where like something devastating happens, there's millions lives lost or whatever. You would think like it would have, like, I don't know, you can't show how it affects every single person of the world, but like,
yeah,
I don't know, it's like seeing how, say there's like some massacre, millions of people lose their lives or whatever, there's that many more million people who lost family members or so on and so forth. Like that's going to impact a big portion of people, and it's not something to just like let go and, oh, we're on to the next movie, ha ha ha, you know what I mean? Like yeah. I think one of like the biggest things to me for like all massive sagas or whatever, or just stories, is like how they don't like they're so focused on the hero, they don't care about, like, they don't, it just feels too unrealistic to me because they don't,
the little details are just missed out on because the focus is too much on the character,
right?
And not, you know, they don't pay attention to like the things in the background,
which I'm sure they'll correct as time goes on, which I'm seeing more of it now in modern media where they like care, but like,
yeah,
oh my god. But like,
I will say Marvel has kind of always been quite good with trying to portray a realistic response.
Oh yeah,
of their things. I mean, like when Iron Man came out, they in one of the future Iron Man films, I think it was Iron Man 2, he starts to collect his own merch and like prints of himself, posters that had genuinely been made and people had it up, and they used as a prop in the film.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting. So
it kind of plays in of like using that realistic pop culture, applying it into the film.
Yeah.
Which is good. It's good.
What is it? Would it be? No, it's not realism. It's realistic. It's very realistic.
Yeah.
That's something modern media misses the point on so much, I think, anymore. It's like how to portray something accurately, which
the amount of things I'll watch on Netflix and I'll just think, yeah, but like that wouldn't happen.
That would
That's not realistic. Stop it.
Your rom-com,
you almost cringe a little bit, you know, like come on.
Yeah,
you
like
can tell it's acting now, love. Come on.
Yeah, like the story has to be good enough to like wrap you into where you can't. If you can tell it's acting, then it's not. The story is not doing its job. I'm sorry.
If I'm so engrossed in it, then I don't care how realistic it is. It's real to me in that moment. Whereas if it's just not good acting, then I'm just gonna think, oh, didn't happen. They did it. It's all a bit cringe.
I like sand. You get that? No?
What? No.
No? Oh my god.
What did you say?
I like sand. Don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it.
Is it in a film? I'm guessing.
Yeah. It's a very bad moment.
Oh.
God. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, your rom-com isn't going to happen. Sorry to break your heart.
Yeah.
Hate to be honest with you, but I'm being honest with you. It drives me to find a new story though, because like I can say I like one genre of like show or like movie, and it's like after so long it's like, yeah, but that wouldn't happen. It's not the first one I watched. You know what I mean? The last one's the first one I watched. It completely like it's hit and miss for some reason, and I think it's because of like how real is it. Because if you're gonna watch something, right? If you're gonna watch a story that entails something very dramatic or something world changing, you're gonna get recommended probably the best one first, or you're just gonna derive the most popular one, which is probably gonna hit the mark directly where it should. That's why it's so popular, right? But
popular doesn't mean it's good though. 50 Shades
True.
of Grey was popular. That was shit film.
Oh, really?
Same with that 365 Days. That's a shit film as well.
I have no, yeah, like she said, just because it's popular doesn't mean it's good. But like, for instance, say it is, right? As you like explore that genre, you're gonna find things that aren't as great. Like for example, isekai. It's an anime genre that is like placing you in a completely different world, a parallel universe. And like there are some that hit really, really well. Like you take this character out of their life and place them in another world. Why are you on the verge of laughing? What is wrong?
I'm sorry. I just started thinking about a film that I watched. It was just really bad.
Oh god. Name?
It's honestly, I think I like got it out of my memory. It was that bad, but I just remember it was a French film. This girl was wearing blue hair.
Oh my god.
She would always eat very loudly during the scenes with food and like talk with her mouth full. And I was watching it with a friend at the time, and so we were just sat there like, oh, what the fuck is she doing? Why can't she just close her mouth? I was getting so frustrated with this film. I was like, no, I'm turning it off. It was just disgusting. I was like, no, don't.
Fair enough. There's been people that tell me I'm bad to watch a movie with because I like to point that shit out. For some reason, when I watch
I'm a little too vocal.
Yeah, when I watch a movie, it's like, I'm going to make fun of the fucking character for the shit they do that is terrible. Like, I don't care if it's your favorite movie. I'm going to degrade them in the funniest way possible. And it's like, it's lighthearted, but like, when somebody's really trying to like involve you in the story and like have you enjoy it, it's like, shut up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I can get it at the same time, but like...
I quite like light-hearted commentary while watching films. I think it adds a little extra zhuzh, especially if it's a film you've seen before. If you watch a film you've seen before with someone you've never seen it before with, then it's just completely new experience, even though you've seen the film before, because things are going to be said, things are going to be pointed out that you might not have realised, or...
Watching shows back, or watching movies back, they say if you watch a movie back, you're going to see things you missed before, which is true. But like, I've watched Revenge of the Sith 32 times, and every time I watch that movie, I notice something different.
Damn.
And I've watched the Lego movie, I think, 43 times total. And every time I see like a new cameo, because there's just that, like, it's just that attention to details. Like, I know how it ends. I know how it goes. It's just like, let me just fuck around and like just watch it to watch the background or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I'm like that with Twilight now, where I just like every time I watch it, I do notice a new thing, but it's not something interesting. It's just, oh, even more shit acting.
Oh my God.
Like, I love that film. It's like a guilty pleasure film, but oh my God, is it bad? It's one of those I hate it so much that I love it.
Yeah.
I watch it as a comedy. I do not watch it as anything else anymore.
That's probably the one reason I haven't watched Twilight is because of its reputation, which, I mean, it's not fair.
It's kind of cringe.
Because there are some shows that I'm avoiding because of their fan base and because of, like...
Understandable. Some fan bases are very toxic.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's, like... It's justified. It's not. But, like... I like to see how other people interact with media. And, like, it gives me a different outlook on it. I don't let people's opinions change mine. I was bad at that at first. Because, like, growing up, when I watched something... Is that a G Fuel cup? No? Oh. No, growing up, when I would watch something, whether that be, like, Lego Ninjago or something, I didn't have people to talk about it with. So, like, I would go to YouTube or whatever. I would go to Twitter, and not really as a kid, Twitter, but, like, with YouTube and Twitter, it's like I found these communities of people who enjoy the content like I do and want to talk about it online. And I remember, these guys would upload reactions to, like, every episode of, like, the new season or whatever, and it's like, they would get real hype, and I got real hype, and it was, like, an enjoyable experience. But then... as I got older, I kind of really went back and watched that show and was like, you know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah.
And I've, again, as time's gone on with different media or different shows in general, it's just like, my general reaction, like, I've learned to not let my general, intake of it be influenced by influencers. Like, that's why I'll usually when I watch something, I'll just, like, kick back and, like, chill. And, like, I'm just, like, taking it and just, like, I want to depict this story for what I can see it as, like, since I can now. But, no, yeah, again, like I said, going to social media to find people to talk about it with, like, now compared to then is, like, night and day.
It's a whole new thing.
Yeah.
You go on TikTok and, like, you know, I watched, like, 2 Marvel TikToks. It just came on my For You page because it was the height of the new series coming out, and so everyone was sort of talking about it. And then for a solid week, it was all that was on my For You page. It was just Marvel content, different content, spoilers, a bunch of different stuff. And, like, it has its blessings and its curses, because at the same time, if you're trying to save yourself from having something spoiled, like, for me, for example, I didn't watch Loki until the day after it came out, and TikTok, Twitter, they are all so quick to jump the gun on spoilers. Everyone just wants to talk about it straight away, so you have to almost avoid and cover your eyes, because it will ruin something. It will completely like ruin something for you. There have been some times where I've had, like, something completely ruined like that on Twitter for me, and I was just like, angry. For me, it was The Walking Dead. I had a character death ruined for me on Twitter, and I was just like, great.
Yeah, never fun.
No, but at the same time, it's also nice to see that. Do you know what? Even if your close friends, your close relatives, whatever, don't quite share the same interests in that particular TV show, series, movie, whatever, you know, you can find people that think the same thing you do, or that appreciate it the same way that you do, and grow a community based off of
that. I'll talk more about this in a later episode. However, there was a time that I myself had a fan account for Star Wars.
Okay.
And
talk to me about it.
I
mean, you can elaborate more in the Star Wars Marvel episode.
Right, but at the time, I remember at first, I wish I still knew how to build a Twitter like this now, but, like, back then, I was getting, like, tens of followers a day, and, like, the community I was building was around, like, a more light-sided side of the community, like a light-hearted side of the community. Like, they don't care to, like, debate what's good and bad. Like, oh, is this episode good? Oh, is this episode bad? Which is kind of what that community's fallen into now, which is kind of glad of why I'm away from it. But, like, it was interesting to interact with that, like, because it's not the bias of thinking, oh, everything's good, everything they do is good, yada, yada, yada. It's, like, appreciating for the art it is. Because even if it's another filler episode or it's just another mindless detail to the story, the community I was around appreciated that. And it's, like, now people are, like, starting to see it for that. And it's, like, now you get it. Now you went for us so hard. Now you get it. You know what I mean? Which is...
I mean, that was back before cancel culture really depicted a person's opinion on something as well. Where I think all fandoms and cultures, like pop cultures and stuff like that, were all a lot more lighthearted. Because now you'll find if, you know, there's a big community around it. Say, for example, I know I'm going to Marvel again, but no, I mean, I know I'm going to Marvel again, but it's the one I know the most about. But, you know, an actor might say something people might not agree with as a popular opinion, but then they will just completely shit on everything because of that one person's opinion. People find it very hard to detach character and actor, and it's ruining pop cultures and communities like this as well.
Unrelated, and you can cut this, but did you see where the fan base was, like, attacking that one guy for, like, saying that Bucky and
Anthony Mackie? Yeah, I heard about that. To be fair, he worded it really fucking weirdly, because he was like, oh yeah, we're just dudes being very masculine, and I'm like, masculinity has nothing to do with sexuality. Do not drive that message, please, because this is the exact problem we have with society right now.
Like, you're not helping.
Men feeling the need to be macho men and can't, you know, come across flirty with their friends or whatever because of how society might see it.
Yeah. I didn't look too deeply on it.
It's an interesting point. Like, I respect both sides. I think if it's not, I don't want to say in canon, but, like, if their characters just are straight, like, there's nothing wrong with straight characters. You're trying to make a more inclusive world. Yes, taking away the ability of a straight character is not going to do that by then trying to imagine every single character is gay. Like, you can find fan fictions online, God, everywhere about every single character.
Rule 34.
Like, yeah, but, like, and there'll be any sexuality, and I just think, like, I appreciate that you're trying to resonate with the character. Like, I get it. I'm gay, like, you know, I get it. But at the same time, like, if the character's straight, a character's straight. You do not need to rewrite that, like, because straight people exist too, you know, like, you know. I don't know. It just, yeah. Making everyone something that they're not is not going to fix the problems we have.
It was quite the headline that came across to me that day, but...
Yeah, I mean, he really could have worded it a lot better. He really did not word it well, if I'm being honest. It sounded homophobic. I know the intention wasn't for that. Like, I don't think he said it with malice or... said it with malicious intent, but at the same time, like, it was worded really weirdly, and masculinity did not need to be brought into it in any way. Like, I don't even understand why that was a point.
Like, what does it have to do with that at all? Back to what we were talking about, though. What were we talking about?
Well, we were meant to be talking about parallel universes, but we somehow got on topic of communities ruining movies and actors and not being able to establish characters from actors and stuff.
Well, I mean, maybe it's not... To be fair, I guess it would be somewhat kind of relevant because us as fans of these of these franchises have our own headcanons. Like, whether... I mean, I'm not saying, like... No, we all have our own headcanons, what we consider canon or what may not be canon. Like, I think this is more prominent in, like, bigger communities, but, like, or something that spreads across multimedia platforms. But when it comes to, like, things that happen, like, if you don't know about it, you're not going to, like, if somebody were to tell you that, oh, this person did this, that, with them, like, you're not going to take it as canon unless you see that or something, or unless, like, they're telling you it's confirmed canon or whatever. Or it's just how you intake the media, I guess. So,
well, I mean, I sorry to interrupt, but it does bring me on to a really good point that Mark Hamill said. He wanted, there was an interview once, and he was talking about something, and he was like, some boy asked me, you know, could Luke be gay? And my response was, he is whatever you interpret him to be, which I like, you know. Yeah. It's not forcing something on a character if it's not there, but at the same time it's allowing for you to be able to resonate with the character in however way you can.
Right. And I mean, it's interesting because there's always the story group's point of view, the consumer's point of view, and then the actor's point of view, or the character's point of view, which is, I love the character's point of view because, again, referring to another Star Wars actor, Ewan McGregor, his outlook on Obi-Wan is, his character as a whole is something, it's insight that I never thought I would see from a actor, to be honest. And then there's John Boyega and, like you said, Mark Hamill. They all provide such a unique insight into their character, to the universe. It's like, it seems amazing, honestly. Like, the way they have interpreted and relay it back, or just how they experienced it, how different it is. Yeah.
What I personally love is I love when actors are huge nerdy geeks for their own franchise,
right?
When they are such a nerd for it and they eat it up just as much as the fans do, because then it's more, it is more than just an actor playing a role at that point,
like,
and it really is art then, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that makes it more beautiful, you know what I mean?
100%. You can really tell the difference, I think, in the acting.
Imagine being like, oh god, a Walking Dead fan, a Game of Thrones fan, or a Star Wars fan or a Marvel fan, and, like, being able to play that role that you always, like, imagine watching. It's like, you know what I mean? You're putting yourself in this world. You're part of the story. I could only imagine what that feels like, man.
It does seem like a dream come true. I can't imagine how surreal it would feel, you know. I feel like you'd have to do a couple double takes and be like, wow, I really am a superhero today.
Yeah, that would be insane. God. It's actually, brings me on to something kind of not really on topic, but Disney recently introduced the volume technology. I'm not sure if you know what that is, but so usually for shows like The Mandalorian or kind of like not really lower end, but like they'll go to these places. There's one in the UK, there's one in San Francisco here, I believe. It's called the Volume, and what the Volume is, it's this room of like digital walls almost. So like a billboard almost, and you get to, like, you're surrounded by what the world you're supposed to be interpreting is. So you don't have to fly to the desert to interpret Tatooine. You don't have to go to the rainforest to interpret, like, a jungle island or something. You know what I mean? Like Jurassic Park. You can just go into the Volume and, like, you're standing here in this fucking big ass building, and you're surrounded by, you'll have noises playing, and it looks so real. The actors that have done work in the Volume have described it as feeling real, and I can only imagine what that's like, because
yeah,
that's like almost that's as close as we're getting to like using virtual technology. And like there's even rumors that Disney's going to use it on the big screen, the volume on the big screen, which makes sense. It's if you were to go back and watch The Mandalorian and some of its episodes, it doesn't even look. It looks flawless. Like it looks like they're in the middle of
desert.
Not even the desert, but like
in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, in the middle of nowhere on this like trash planet, on this ice planet, on this like jungle planet. You know what I mean? It's like you're in these places, but you're not. Which
imagine being able to rent that out and going to visit and then being like, I want this world, put me in. And then you look around and you can just soak up all its glory.
You're just here. That would be awesome. I never even thought of it like that before.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Big bucks. That would be like the new VR, where there's VR centers where you can have a headset on and they give you like a fake gun. You run around.
VR on crack.
For
Literally.
I'd pay good money to do that.
Yeah, definitely. I think it would be worth it. Even if it was just for an amount of time, I think experiencing that, like, this is going to sound really, like, not bad, but, like, I'm a love child. I know I'm a love child. But we didn't go to the movies all that often. So when I started going to the movies more as a teenager, it's like I come out of the movies, like, in a daze. Like, that was surreal. Like, having the surround sound, IMAX quality type thing is like, holy shit.
It always is just different, isn't it?
Yeah,
it does hit different.
It's like you're there almost, like you're seeing it. It's like, holy shit. Like, every time I walk out the movie, it's like, I'm like looking up at the sky at night. It's like, damn, this is the world we live in. It's like, wow. It's like, I don't know. I'm amazed by it, to put it lightly. But, again, as stupid as that sounds, I am a love child. I promise. I wasn't neglected.
I do get what you mean, though. I think, I always watched the Marvel films pretty much at the cinema. I don't think I ever watched... no, actually, there were a couple that I didn't see in the cinema, the earlier ones, but I always tried to.
Yeah.
And just every time I walked out, I was just like, wow,
damn.
that was awesome,
Yeah.
Being able to hear it on the big screen with the surround sound. It's full immersion. It is full immersion. You walk out and you feel almost like you're in that world. You're not, because, you walk out and it's like, oh, popcorn on the floor. Never mind, I'm in the middle of the shithole town. But that was a good film.
Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah.
I have, unfortunately, thanks to COVID, I thought my door was opening. Movie. Okay. I don't know. I saw the pixels moving. Movies, and specifically Star Wars movies, came out every year near my birthday. I was born on December 10th. Ooh. They came out on Christmas, and they have been for the past 5 years. And then COVID, so it was like almost a tradition, and that was like, it was a good start to the year, I think. It was an otherworldly start to the year for me, because it's Star Wars, again, it's the movies for me, and then like, the start of the year, it's Christmas time. Just feels like a different vibe.
Wouldn't it be the end of the year? Because it's December.
Well, I mean, and start of the year type.
Same sort of time frame, though, I get that.
Yeah, like, sort of thing.
Yeah, see, for me, like, Marvel films come out kind of, I don't want to say sporadically, but, like, sometimes they'll come out springtime, sometimes it'll be summer, sometimes it'll be the winter. It really just depends on the film and the release date, because they bring out, like, a couple every 3 years or whatever. But, yeah, it's been weird not having... I mean, I haven't, like, I don't usually go to the cinema much anymore anyway, because there's not really much that I watch or that I really want to watch, I guess, out there, because I have streaming services, so I'll just be like, oh, TV convenience.
It's like, but, literally just...
you definitely miss the experience.
Yeah. I mean, that's what makes and that's what makes a lasting impression, I think, on a movie, because there have been some movies that are like genuinely disliked like across all mediums, and it's like I experienced in the movie. It's like, damn, y'all didn't like that movie? I thought that movie was kind of like, I thought that movie was banger. You know what I mean? It's like
Me with Twilight.
yeah, me with Solo. I think it's like people hate people hate on certain things, and it's like, well, how did you watch it then, huh? Did you sit there and criticize it the whole time? Yeah, what were you watching? I mean, again, that's just how people.
Yeah, I see what you mean though. Like, if you're sat there criticizing it, you can't fully get immersed. What's the word?
Immersed.
Immersed. Yeah, you can't fully get immersed in the world, and so.
What's the fun?
I feel like you can't appreciate it. You are then more critical of it because you're not in the world. You can't, you're not looking at it from that childlike perspective almost, where it's just pure awe and.
I hope this doesn't.
And just
Yeah, I hope it doesn't fuck with me now when I go to watch another movie. And it's like, oh man, I'm criticizing it in my head. You know what I mean?
So far, I don't think I've done that much. I did that with Endgame, but that's been it. Yeah, there were unfortunately a couple things I didn't like about that film.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of stuff just felt really out of place and like forced.
Huh. Compared to Star Wars, I almost felt like Marvel did it flawlessly. Almost.
Endgame.
Not Endgame, but like the trilogy, like they did a saga.
Their Avenger films.
Their Avenger films felt very fucking collected compared to whatever the last 3 Star Wars movies were. So like again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like again, when I watched Endgame, it was like when I watched Infinity War, Endgame is like. Yeah, I'm feeling Marvel now. You know what I mean? It's like I started to like really feel those characters, that world. And it's like I started to appreciate it more.
For me, because I grew up with that world, there were deaths of characters that I grew up with and that were at one point my favorite characters, or the characters that I thought were the coolest. Like Tony Stark, for example. I didn't want Iron Man to die. Iron Man was the first ever Marvel film that I properly watched in the cinema, and I loved it. I loved it. It's always since then been one of my favorites. So him dying broke my heart. I was in floods of tears in the cinema. I was blubbering. And then I blubbered when Black Widow died as well in Endgame. And
I hated that.
The one thing I will say, and people are going to probably be like, meh, about me for it, but the scene where Peter Parker is swinging around with the gauntlet and he's like, uh-oh, and then all of the women that are currently alive just decide to be like girl squad, and it just felt like forced feminism, and it made me really uncomfortable. Because it wasn't authentic. It was just, don't worry, he's got a couple of girl bosses and it's just everyone like ready to fight in stances, and I'm just like, yeah, but it's kind of cringe, isn't it? Sorry, but you telling me that you would be making that sort of statement in the middle of a battle? No, just fight them. What are you doing?
I hate to say it, but I agree. I didn't think I would like ever like just. I don't dislike it, but it just really does. It breaks the immersion. It felt really
forced.
Yeah, it breaks the immersion. Like there are moments in a story that can break the immersion if you portray it poorly, and that was one of those moments. And I've noticed it more and more so, unfortunately, in other like past media or whatever. It's like if you're not doing it right, there's a time and a place. Don't get me wrong, but like do it accordingly.
Messages are important, and it's important to bring up those things that matter, but like don't do it in a way that just wouldn't happen, because it ruins the story. I'm sorry, I hate to say it, but like it's also one of the reasons I didn't like The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's affecting like storyline and being able to navigate that in a way that's educational for everyone. Like I'm all for it, I am all for it, but like at the same time, please don't forget that like a couple weeks ago in this plot line, you were just fighting a big giant alien man with like bull-chin testicle like chin who fought using magical colourful rocks. Also, why are your lights going crazy?
We're Right. What were we talking about? Oh, Captain Marvel, aliens, ball chin testicles.
I don't know why though, because we're meant to be talking about parallel universes and we've just been talking about films.
Can you tell that? I mean, can you tell we want to get to the Marvel vs. Star Wars episode already?
Oh, we're so excited for it. There's still so much though that we can talk about for it.
I know.
Oh.
Are these the respective fan bases, not fan bases, franchises we're talking about go so in depth, we could sit here and make a 6-hour podcast about them and not run out of content.
Yeah. Yeah. I could talk for a long time about just Marvel.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you got multiple sides of Marvel as well. You've got the side of Marvel that was previously owned by Fox, so you've got all of the X-Men stuff, Deadpool, that entire storyline, and then you've got Avengers, which is currently different universe. Parallel universe, not crossover yet. Yeah. Like completely separate plot lines.
We'll talk a lot more about that once we get there, though. But I'm almost embarrassed that we've tangent out to this specifically. I mean, we've talked a lot about two specific things that I won't mention.
One thing I'll bring us back to then to kind of put us a little bit back on track. Are you familiar? I mean, I presume you are. The Mandela Effect. Right.
We had talked about this. Explain it to me because I'm not sure of it by name.
So, the Mandela Effect, I mean, originally, I guess, kind of found its popularity in its theory, because a lot of people believed that Nelson Mandela had died in prison. People vividly remember it being taught in schools, being broadcast on the news, and all of this sort of stuff that he died in prison. And then when they come to find out that actually, no, he died a lot later after he had gotten out of prison, everyone was like, huh? What the hell? That's history must have changed or something like that. So these instances in history, they don't even have to be big significant things. Some of them are as simple as the name of a book, the spelling of a word. People remember it so vividly. Vast groups of people remember this one thing, and then there is no trace evidence of it ever being a thing. But these huge populations of people believe it.
Yeah, I learned of it. That specifically, I didn't know what it was called. I've seen videos of it though, like where they're comparing it. What hit home for me was not only Pikachu's tail, but the Bearstein Bears, I think it was called.
Yeah.
Something about that cover was a part of that, and that's when it really like starts like, what the fuck? Like, it really started to make me realize like what's going on here. Like, it's interesting. It's interesting. Why? I wonder why we believe it so much. Like, I still believe Pikachu has that black stripe at the end of his tail. I don't care. I don't give a damn if it's not on the plushie.
The one that really gets me is for iPhone users, Apple users, the burglar emoji never existed, but I vividly remember there being someone with the black mask, the beanie, and the stripy top with a money bag in their hand. I remember that emoji existing, and apparently there's no evidence of it ever existing. It's never been an emoji, but I remember it so vividly, and so many other people remember it existing.
I'm trying to think. I feel like I've used that before.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like I've used it too. But it's never existed, so how could we have used it?
It's crazy, dude. That blows my mind.
That's the whole theory of, like, I think some people like to, I guess, go on a tangent from that thought and kind of think that it's the merging of universes coming together, which is why we remember things differently, because they just didn't happen in our timeline. They happened in another timeline. Like, one person likes to think that because of, so you know how we talked about Cern in episode 6, I think it was, conspiracy theories, the big, the place with the God particle and the accelerator.
Yeah.
So, there's a theory that in 2012, when that was originally, like, opened up and stuff, it sent us to a parallel universe. And that is why things since then have felt so weird.
I mean, it would make sense. Hold on. I feel like that's something there. I guess it's just okay, a blemish. Um, it would make sense. It had the common theory. Things have not felt the same since 2016. Every year after that has just been. I don't know. You know what I mean?
For me, it felt like once secondary school ended, everything has gone like insanely quick. Like, as in, life is on ×2 speed.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's something
That might just be getting old.
Maybe that's something we're going through as a generation, but like, I don't know. I don't know. It's becoming more common.
There's an undescribable feeling though of something being really different, but I can't quite describe it. But it does feel completely different. Like, I don't know, there's something different feeling about the world compared to what it felt like in
growing up,
2016 or growing up. I mean, there's this whole thing of like some people experiencing where they look at certain colors and they're like, was the world this grey always? I remember it being a lot more vivid and brighter colored.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that. There was like these videos of people in like whether that's in like a hot tub at a hotel or something, or like at the beach or whatever, and it's like they're showing this like vibrant image of like, take a minute to experience life how it used to be, and it's like boom, and it's like, damn, you really had to ruin my mood like that. It's like
everything does look so grayscaled now though.
Yeah,
that might be a life behind technology and what it's done to us.
Possibly because they like to preach about how it could hurt our eyes so much, but here we sit hours on hours at a time with ring lights shining brightly in our face and computer screens ruining our eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to say I don't know how much I believe that, but I know there's evidence to back that. But like, I just think that for to progress, like, it had to happen, maybe. But I mean,
it's in the TVA's intended timeline. Marvel nerds, you might get that.
I've heard too much about the TVA and know nothing about them. It's frustrating, but I understand it to a basis. But no, yeah, if that was the case, that's trippy. The merging of timelines. I wonder if there's like any like scientists or like research being developed on that theory.
I don't know. I feel like we secretly have time travel figured out, and it's just very hidden.
Maybe
I think that'd be.
There's
there's 7 billion people on the planet. We figured out how to get outside of this planet. We're
about to populate Mars.
Exactly. We have jumped technologically compared to where we were at 30 years ago, compared to where we are now. Like, an astronomical jump in technological advancement as a species. And so, I don't know, like, someone out there, I mean, especially with all of the high IQ scientists that we've had exploring into space and just astrophysics in general and those sort of things.
Yeah.
Someone has to have figured something out.
There's a theory that wormholes is the answer to time travel. But I mean, in the same, and there's the theory that black holes lead to alternate realities, which
there's no way of ever telling because a black hole is so consuming.
It would literally tear anything apart. We'll never know. Like, you could get near a black hole and literally die. You're not going to go into it. All we know is that it consumes energy, and then with a wormhole, we don't even know those are real. So,
but the thing is, if you know any law of physics, the most basic law of physics is energy is never destroyed, only transferred. It's not created or destroyed, only transferred. So, where's our energy going if we die in a black hole? Are we really dying in a black hole, or is our energy just getting transferred somewhere else? And if so, where? Is that place a parallel universe?
If it is, if it's on the other side? Well, I doubt they'd be advanced enough to get here to us, but
If they were parallel, I presume they would probably be at the same point that we are, but just opposites. Because we would be mirrors almost, surely.
Fair enough.
I don't know. Depends on how parallel universes work. It could be anything and everything.
That's the thing. I mean, I think it would be... It would probably be relatively the same. It's just, like you said, opposite.
With the universe forever expanding, though, I do think that in that instance, like...
What isn't possible? You know what I mean?
Exactly. You know, if we're never going to stop expanding, then there's endless possibilities of what could be at the end of either side, because there is no end.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to know, like, the universe is expanding. What's beyond that? What's beyond the expansion? You know what I mean?
We'll never know, because it's always going to expand.
Yeah. I mean, we'll never know, right? We'll never be... for billions and billions of years, we won't have technology that could even catch us up to that point.
Our planet will be long gone before we even figure anything like that out, I think.
Yeah.
We will... the star will have exploded, the sun will have exploded, and we, as a planet, would be decimated. Either that or by our own self-destruction. Long, long, long before we figure out any sort of, like, end of the universe travel. Being able to go from one end of the universe to the other.
It's almost sad.
Kind of, yeah. Especially at the rate that we're going of planetary destruction.
Yeah.
We're going to need Mars to be colonised soon, otherwise don't know how much good old Earth can take, to be honest.
Not much more from the looks of it.
Nope.
Those polar ice caps, I don't think they're going to regenerate. I don't know. That took a dark turn. However, it's almost just as beautiful because, like, what if out there, billions of light years away, the planet will be spawned and they're on the same life cycle as us? You know what I mean? 3.5 million years later, there's going to be humans developing a society around another sun that's going to explode 15 million
just
years in the future.
Loop.
Yep, just a loop.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest.
What if they're studying... What if... Because there is, like, how light travels. Like, they say it would take... If the sun was to explode, we wouldn't know for 8 minutes or whatever. If the sun was to go out, excuse me. If it's that far away, we're seeing... Like, all right, theoretically, if we're seeing a black hole 65 billion light years away... That's 65 million years ago. I think that's what they're like. Because...
Yeah, because of light years.
Because of light years. So, what if we're being watched right now from the future? All those light years...
They're watching us do this right now.
Yeah, they're watching... Like,
Ooh.
no, like, they're not watching us, but, like, they're learning of our planet. Like, what if tomorrow they learn of our planet and they start studying it, and they're naming it, like, XC or some shit, you know what I mean? Think of that.
That's just made me have a really weird, like, mess with head thought of, like, what if we're in the past right now, being studied right now?
Oh my god! Would we know? We're living history.
No, we would never know. But, like, imagine that though. There's like imagine the possibility, right? Parallel universe. But, like, internalized universe, as in it just restart the same thing over and over again, like a worldly Groundhog's Day.
Ooh.
That this has all already happened before and it'll happen again for the rest of existence.
That's chilling. That's chilling.
Imagine that.
History repeats itself.
But quite literally, and that is the secret almost to these people that have these experiences as if they've lived multiple lifetimes.
Fair enough. I think that's interesting.
They just respawned.
Oh my god.
Respawned as a new character. New character unlocked.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't hope that's the case. Oh, wait a minute. What if say reincarnation is a thing, and you just so happen to meet someone of your last descendancy, and like you just
uncomfortable. No thank you to that.
Nope.
But would you also ever know?
Because you're a completely different bloodline.
Okay, no, but hear me out. Yourself. Not even the same bloodline, just you.
How would that
Again.
work? Because you'd have to die to be reincarnated.
Yeah, so you're reincarnated spirit from another lifetime. In a, like...
Oh, so from like a certain...
Because if we die endless times, and this all restarts endless times, there's then like the possibility of so many deaths, or so many repetitions building up where we are the same person. This is a really weird thought. This is like stoner thought right now, but like... No, but like if we all... I don't know where I'm going with this.
I don't know where you're going. I don't know where you're going with this.
But like, we're all the same person. I know that's not the case, obviously. But like, yeah, that we've like just relived this path so many times that like,
so
our spirits are in every single thing.
You're suggesting that like we've like
we are the Earth as a collective spirit almost. That we've died that many times that we're all like inhabiting each other almost.
So what you're saying is like when a new person dies, so like it's like the Me-6 from Rick and Morty. Like when you separate one, another one spawns.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like
holy shit.
Imagine.
That's fucking wild.
Crazy, right?
I'm having like I'm not sleeping tonight. Fuck you.
We just gonna be thinking of like, oh my god, but what if?
I mean that's all of that's all of Para Universe's what if.
What if?
I mean that messes with me so bad. I hate you. I hate you.
Yeah, but like imagine, that would be so weird.
Yeah. You mean to tell me that girl I looked at was like my sister? Myself? No, don't think about it.
Oh. I don't want to think about it like that.
No, I didn't mean it like that, but like that's not how I meant it.
Oh no, but like it.
Oh, you thought of it like that. Oh.
Then you just wouldn't want to talk to anyone because it's like you're just fucking yourself all the time. You're always getting fucked over because someone's getting fucked over.
Literally. Can we even comprehend that? Like.
No, I can't comprehend it.
No, like, can we comprehend the fact that if it were true that we were all the same person, could we comprehend it?
No, but also it would be very interesting because it would show then how much nature and nurture really do change things, like, and can change a lot about a person. Because deep down, realistically, we are all the same because we're all, you know, a heart, a brain, you know, flesh and blood. Right. We're all made out of the same things. We're all humans.
Right.
We all pretty much, for the most part, have the same instinctual desires and natural desires and stuff like this. And then there are things that are, like, inherently put into us or opinions developed through what we were raised around or what we were taught, blah, blah, blah. And, like, it really shows, like, to a base level, we're not actually different, but how different we can all make each other feel.
That's deep.
That is deep.
Huh. Makes you appreciate life a whole lot more.
It really does. It makes you realise, like, just treat people how you want to be treated.
Yeah. We're
just organs at the end of the day. We are literally a flesh bag.
You had to word it like that.
We're a flesh bag. Flesh bag of liquid.
All right, that's. All right, let's chill
Why is
out.
it gonna be that deep?
Just that's the way you named it. No.
Instead of be my Valentine, be my
Stop.
be my
Stop.
flesh bag. Be my
No,
flesh bag.
no,
Thanks.
This is why I said stop. This is why I
If I
said
Google
stop.
it, I bet you could find it on a weird site. Hang on.
X videos pops up.
Flesh. Flesh bag.
Fleshbag Marauder. I don't care about your card.
Amazon Music. Etsy. Would you Etsy?
What are you buying oh.
What do you mean Etsy flesh bag?
It's everything that comes up is a Marauder, a Fleshbag Marauder.
For me, it's just coming up.
Oh, there's a bag of flesh. Nice.
Just bags of flesh. Oh well.
Why have I found the oh? See, this is what we're not going to do.
What?
I'm sending it to you now, and we can. I'll. Oh, my camera went dark. And we can put it in the episode as well, but it's not harmful. Here, I gotta close out Discord to get it.
On Twitter, I'm guessing you're sending it to me.
No, I'm gonna send it to you on Discord.
Oh, okay.
What is that? What is that?
As a belly button bum bag.
God, there's one with more hair.
Yeah.
A fanny pack with
Bum bag.
right, same thing. I don't know.
Though technically, fanny pack makes more sense because of how you wear it. Because a bum bag, you don't wear it around your waist where it's just above your arse. You wear it around your waist as if it's just above your groin. So fanny pack would make sense.
Yeah.
Because fanny here in the UK is like a term for a vagina.
That was probably. Oh my god! When I was. I watched Assignment a lot when I was like 13, 14, and like they used the word fanny a couple times to like describe something a little more extreme. So when I heard my parents start calling this bag a fanny pack, I'm like, why such vulgar language? And they're like, what?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
it's a name. It's literally a name. Some people are called Fanny.
oh, that's unfortunate name. That's
Oh, there is some real unfortunate names out there.
yeah, we'll have to go over them one day. Is there? Well, I'm not sure. We've been recording for an hour and a half, so
I mean, there's nothing else.
I think after that deep
Oh my god.
I think
Yeah,
after
nothing
that
else in particular I want to cover.
yeah, after that deep conversation we just had, I think that's a good point to end it. That sums up
Okay, cool.
the parallel universes for us. Again, we're good. I know we leaned heavily towards Marvel and Star Wars. We're getting there. That tension's going to break soon. Next week, we're covering Amazing Human Feats. It's our two-parter, our season ender, and then we're going on our 2-week break, our hiatus.
To get ready for season 2, The Arts.
It's going to be we're
going bigger and better for season 2. We're going more badass. We've got some crazy ideas for content.
We're going to, what is it? We're going to be working, at least in development, a lot in those 2 weeks. So, like I said, if you're new, if you're returning, be sure to subscribe to the channel, follow the Spotify and our Twitter to keep up with all up-to-date stuff and some behind-the-scenes lore. Again, thank you for watching or listening, and we will see you guys next week.